Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Aurorus, which just basically was available for me, as you have to wait till like night time to evolve this thing, and for me this took till I think close to 10 PM, which is kind of annoying because I wanted to make the video prior, but hey, here we are, we're gonna try it out. We played 3 sets with it and I actually went positive all the sets again, which is kind of nice. I went not really crazy positive, but I still went positive, which is all that really mattered to me. And this team is, of course, a little bit weak against the fighters again, which is the main theme, which I kind of feel in this cup right now. Like in general, like it's a little bit difficult to make a team with a rock type that's not weak to fighting types, because if you think about like using the Toxic Rogue, for example, in the lead, which would solve nearly all the problems of the rock type in the back. You have the problem of the wish cares and the ground types in general, which completely screw you up. So you cannot really run the Toxic Rogue in the lead here, but we have the Aurorus here, and Aurorus has access to Powder Snow and Weather Ball. Both are very, very good ice type moves, which are gonna allow it to spam those charge moves out really, really fast. We have Thunderbolt as well on this Pokemon, which is kind of nice. And we see my opponent tries to catch the move there on the NiRiain, which doesn't matter, as we can shield here, farm him down, and go for one more Weather Ball. First set, I actually really didn't like this thing. I actually thought like, okay, what do I really want to do this thing? But you just have to get used to it. Like, this is the main thing with this Pokemon. I feel like you have to get used to, like, in general, how to play with this, how to play around with this. I have to say, I lost also some battles. I don't know if they're also in here, just for the game not being right. Like, in general, like, it's just so horrible today. It didn't work whatsoever. The thing is, which is really annoying for me, every single time today, like literally 90+% of the time, I get denied. Like I think I deny around like, I don't know, 50%. It feels like my opponent definitely gets way more quick moves in than me. And today is like completely horrible. Otherwise, like recently it felt like 50-50, which was fine. But today, like there is not a single quick move I get through. And it's like so annoying. Like I don't know what happened overnight with the new update, which got forced. But today was horrible gameplay experience, and after me like saying yesterday that it's actually pretty decent right now for me, I guess, yeah, we cannot say anything about the actual state because it changes all the time anyway. But yeah, Aurorus itself, definitely a cool Pokemon. It's the better Pokemon compared to the other in terms of pre-poke rating. I don't really think you can really compare the Tyrantrum and the Aurorus because they're basically completely different Pokemon. Both are rock types, but both have completely different kind of play styles. You have the high fast move damage from the Tyrantrum, and you have the high spamminess from this Pokemon. Both have the fighting type weakness, but that's basically all they have in common. Also the ground type weakness, actually. I think that's it then. I think it is. No, steel types. Steel types also double super effective against both of them. Actually double super effective against the Aurorus, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. But you know what I mean. Like, they're completely different Pokemon. They have different main types. One is Dragon, one is Ice, and they basically attack with those types as well. So you cannot really compare them. Both of them are fine, definitely. I think I actually still like the Tyrantrum a little bit more, but it's like very close. They're basically, like, again, you cannot really compare them, to be honest. We see the Registeel here definitely doesn't like the counter damage from my little duck in the lead. I wanted to run the Sirfetch'd just because of the Leaf Blade coverage. At the end of the day, I could have ran literally every single the other fighter. Like, it would have been all okay. It didn't really matter whatsoever. As we see a Marek in the back, I think we lose this game here. The sad thing about Aurorus, which I really don't like, is that it cannot really use the other stab move it has, because like you have Ancient Power as the other rock type move, and if it had like something like Stone Edge or whatever, like, or Rock Slide, anything like this, like, it would have made it so much better in my opinion, because you would be able to hit those fire types like the Marek. But now it's a little bit awkward and not really possible. By the way, are we still have a chance for this game? Yes, because my opponent decides to swap out completely randomly into the Pelipper, give me farm, and I have literally no idea what they wanted to try to do with this, but he just wanted to give me the win. Thanks for this more. But we see the Diggersby against us in the lead, we see the Pelipper coming in, we can go for one Leaf Blade. Try to get this thing low, try to get a shield from my opponent as we swap out into our Lickitung, and I was like, I think it's a little bit too obvious here. It's not gonna be the Hurricane. I was right, it was the Weather Ball. as we can go for one body slam here, trying to get this thing low. Of course, already the counter damage before put him into the red health now. This is gonna allow me to lick him down, and they just gonna go for a weather ball again. They bait me here, totally fine. We're both even shields right now, and I can farm down this pillar bar, which allows me to get to some nice grass type moves against the incoming Diggersby again, which gonna put this really low, which gonna basically force my opponent to throw. And if you see my team in general, you see a fighting type in the lead, which is super effective. You see a nice type in the lead in the back that is super effective. So I really don't care what my opponent decides to do here with this matchup. They go for the Earthquake, which is the right play. Fire Punch wouldn't have KO'd me. We can go to our Sirfetch'd, and we see the Frosters coming in, as we can go for one Night Slash, and we're gonna try to catch the next move, and we're gonna be able to on the Aurorus. Of course, the Ice type moves gonna be resisted on our own Ice type, as we're gonna be able to go for one Thunderbolt here, getting this thing very low with this move, as we're gonna be able to tank another move. I don't know if we shield here. I actually shield here, I shield the Shadow Ball. I tried to farm all the way down, and actually worked out really well, as we're gonna be able now to go for more weather balls against this Diggersby, and I think 2 weather balls, thanks to the super effectiveness, gonna be enough to KO this thing. Good game. They are gonna get swept by this Aurorus. Aurorus actually is like a really good sweeper if you have like a decent matchup at the end with the types. We had actually a really cool match as well, where we surprised a Polytoad who didn't really know how much, like in general, like what kind of moves we run. This is the cool thing about some spicier picks like the Aurorus here. A lot of people just don't know the moves that this Pokemon has. Like it's kind of like unique for them. They don't really know what you run. So you sometimes just get shields where like you're not supposed to get shields. Sometimes you just gonna get KOs, which you're not supposed to get KOs, which is like kind of cool with those Pokemon. Like, who thinks that Rock and Ice type has Electric type coverage on your Water type, where the Water type would usually be better against you? Like, that's the cool thing about spicy Pokemon. The opponent never really knows what they do. We can go for one Night Slash here against the Frosters. Frosters is a pretty decent Pokemon for us to deal with, but we see that we cannot catch the move. I kind of wanted to catch the move, but didn't really work out too well because I underestimated my opponent, which I think at the end of the day didn't matter at all anyway, because he has the beat drill. I don't know if he had any chance to win this game at this point of time. I actually think if we caught the move, I think we still had a chance, but of course, if we didn't catch the move, so it's all fine. Like you don't have to win every game. We see a hard counter team here against me. Of course, I didn't actually look at the battles prior. This is like really hard counter. I cannot go for another Thunderbolt, sadly, which would have allowed us to get a shield from my opponent, but this only puts him low, which is fine for me, as we get definitely a counter through. Oh, maybe not. And this is the thing that really bothered me. If we got the counter through there, I could have just no shielded here and farmed him down with a Licky Tongue, but we don't, so we have to shield here and we have to farm him down. And we can now go for one Night Slash, and thanks to the recent update, the charge move and the fast move damage always still KOs me here. You cannot transfer the damage anymore, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna quit out of here. I was kind of annoyed by not getting through counters the entire time when my opponent throws charge moves. We see the hardest counter for this team is a Toxicroak, or is it really the hardest counter? No, not really, because my opponent decides to just let the move go through, and we can just go into our Licky Tongue and we can shield the Sludge Bomb here, and we're gonna be able to farm down this Toxicroak with some lick damage. This is how you beat Toxicroak, by the way. It's actually pretty okay as long as they're gonna let some moves through at them. And this is the cool thing about the what's it called, the elite there, the Sirfetch'd. I didn't really want to bait like the potential Brave Bird which one-shots them. I just wanted to get some damage on this thing. That was fine. And here I didn't wait long enough to swap out in time, which really kills me the game. I think I would have won it otherwise, because I would have been able to outspam this Pokemon and most likely would have KO'd him in time. But because I didn't wait out the switch clock, I was not able to swap out in time, and at this point of time this game is over. This was my own mistake. I think I could have won this game if I played it correctly, but I didn't play it correctly, which happens. It just happens. It's fine. We see an Ember Shadow Ninetales, kind of like for Cindy, who was winning the Vancouver Regionals with this Pokemon. Kind of got more common, and I don't know why I threw the move at this time. I had literally no clue why I threw a Night Slash at this Coma. Oh, don't ask me. I'm also tired, I guess, because like this was not a smart idea. But we can go into Aurorus, we can go for one more Weather Ball, and my opponent decides to go into their Ninetales and they throw the move. Sadly, I didn't get to the Thunderbolt in time, which would have been very nice. And we can swap into our Sirfetch'd, we can go for a charge move, we can swap out. Let's see what my opponent gonna have in the bag. We're gonna see the Dragon Knight, Shadow Dragon Knight, and we can go for the Body Slam here, which is nice. And we're gonna be able to see him P-type next turn, I think. I think I lagged there for one turn, which is not really cool. And I think this might have changed some stuff, because, yeah, okay, now we have the CMP tie here, which is not really that nice for me, as we're gonna still be able to go for one Body Slam and KOing this thing. But we still have to deal with the Ninetales in the back, and we're gonna see that we can do some nice damage with the lick damage here, but it's just not enough. Or is it? We can go for the counter down and we just barely win there. I have no idea how our Sirfetch'd still survived the last Ember there. I thought we would be dead for sure, but okay. We see a Zapdos coming in here, and as long as you're gonna be able to shield correctly the Thunderbolt here, which you're gonna be able to, which is really nice, we should be able to maybe get to Weather Ball in time, but they actually throw that early, which means that this is gonna be only a Drill Peck, which we're gonna be able to resist, and we can just farm all the way down. And at this point I was like, dude, does my opponent know my moves actually? And we just gonna go for the Thunderbolt, and they just don't know the moves, and we can go for one more Weather Ball now, and we should be able to get a shield from my opponent, and we gonna be able to do this, and we can get to another Weather Ball. Do we get the last shield as well? Aurorus is just sweeping through here, and we gonna get the last shield as well. We nearly KO'd him as well still at the end of the day, which was crazy. I'm just gonna go back into my Sirfetch'd, trying to counter him down, but they sadly get to another move. I'm just gonna let it go. I believe in my Lickitung. I hope they don't have a fighter in the back, but they don't. They have the Golbat in the back, and at this point of time, we can just go for the Body Slams here, and we should be fine. There's no way my opponent can win here unless they run something like, I think it would learn a Sludge Bomb, and they just overfarm so much, so I'm gonna shield the second move here, and it's gonna be only a Poison Fang, which is fine, as we see in Peter here anyway. With our Body Slam, and this Body Slam gonna be able to KO my opponent, and we just gonna be able to win the game there. Aurorus just came and clutched like crazy. We see Pachirisu, my nemesis. I really don't like this Pokemon. I hate to see it. My opponent goes for one move here against my Lickitung, which is gonna be the Thunderbolt, and they can swap out now, but they stay in, and we can go for one Body Slam as well here, getting him pretty low, and we should be able to do some nice damage with this. And we see the Abomasnow coming in. We can go for another Body Slam, which I'm totally fine with, to be honest. We have one move stored onto our fighting type, and they gonna let it go anyway, so now they're in a really low health range. They go for a Weather Ball, it doesn't KO us. We can still get to the Body Slam with a 1 HP in a Dream, and we can now go into our fighter, and we can get the last shield from my opponent if they really want to shield this to get some moves off, and they do. They of course get a shield from me now back, but we have a 1-0 shield scenario now. We can swap out into our Aurorus, and we catch the move from the Pachirisu, which is really nice, as this Thunder Punch does next to nothing, and we can go for our Weather Ball in time to KO this Pachirisu. The Aurorus coming in clutch again here, going to be able to destroy this XL Pachirisu. And we see the Frostless coming in. And we can go for one Thunderbolt, which is still gonna do some nice damage against the Frostless. Of course, both of our fast moves are resisted, and also they cannot go for one Avalanche. They have to go for one Shadow Ball here. So I'm gonna be able to shield this up. We can go for one Weather Ball, and we should be able to win this game now with my Sirfetch'd in the back, which you're gonna swap into now, and we gonna, yeah, we see my opponent surrendering there. Good game there. Next up, we're gonna have the Mandibuzz in the lead, which is definitely not the perfect Pokemon, but we see that we can swap perfectly on the Aerial Ace into our Lickitung, and we see my opponent swapping into a Sandslash. And this Sandslash gonna be crazy, as you're gonna see now. The Sandslash gonna go for one Rock Tomb. I was already, you usually run Earthquake and Night Slash, but this is not all, to be honest. As you're gonna see now, my opponent is even crazier, and they just gonna run Bulldoze for whatever reason. Like, note, I play here against also some top tier players in the same kind of rank. I have no idea what this dude did to the Sandslash, but this was definitely not the right moveset, bro. We see the Registeel coming in here, which is really amazing, because now we can realign our Pokemon perfectly, which is really nice. as we're gonna be able to go for some body slams. They're gonna go now for their focus blast, and we still have our fighter in the back, which of course really wants to meet this Registeel, as we see the Mandibus coming in again, and we can go into our Aurorus, and Aurorus is pretty bulky, so we should have a really nice time here against this Mandibus. They cannot really do anything, as you're gonna see here, and we should be able to win this last game as well, as we're gonna be able to realign our Pokemon after losing the lead hard against Mandibus, coming back there thanks to flipping the switch with the Lickitung, and now we have our Pokemon perfectly aligned. We actually go for the Weather Ball here, trying to get the shield gone from my opponent, but yeah, we're just gonna win this game pretty easily with some move combos, so yeah. That's gonna be it for the video. Thanks all for watching. Aurorus is definitely a cool Pokemon. You should definitely try to get one, especially on the weekend on the 12th. Where we have the 4 hours, I think, where you can get them in the wild, which is gonna be amazing. So definitely play this event, and thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.